Positive ID on the granny. Over. Copy that. Prepare to clear this time slot. Over. Launch the granny. Move. Go. 5 seconds to go. Incoming.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Golly Geek here at your service. The animated version of Get Smart. Nope. No. Yes, that one. Get back here. All right, stay. Run the Secret Show. Released in the United Kingdom on September 16th, 2006, the show was met with relatively positive responses. Produced by Christopher O'Hare and directed by creator Tony Collingwood and Andrea Trant, the show ran for 2 seasons and 52 episodes, with music by Roger Jackson and editing by Daniel Florencio and Fred Zeker. I'd like to list all of the people involved, but I want to keep this video below 20 minutes. So, let's move on to the writing and characters. The writing in this show is interesting. It parodies heavily and flips the spy genre on its head. Honestly, you'd think this would be pretty boring, but the humor actually hits, and it hits hard. The pure amount of insanity that the show produces is inspiring. And even so, it still has relative continuity from episode to episode, making it easy to watch episodes individually or in succession. You can take your pick. And what is a television series or movie or book or anything for that matter without its characters? So, to start off, let's talk about Victor Volt. He's okay. I mean, there's nothing stellar about him. He's the stereotypical dumb guy, get smart kind of dude that's plagued this genre for generations. Same kind of goes for Anita. I mean, she's the smart partner, blah, 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 perfection, blah. Individually, they're not very good, but I really do enjoy their relationships, so I give these protagonists a pass. Doesn't mean it's a good trope, doesn't mean it should continue. In fact, people should stop this trope, please. But it works here, so I guess I'd give it a pass. Mostly because I love the rest of the characters. All right, Professor. I love this dude. He's this crazy old German guy, I think. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, he's really kooky and I love him. All of his inventions are superb, and I just love learning more and more about him. He's this kooky, fun-loving little guy. And then, of course, we have Changed Daily. His name changes daily because it is of the utmost security that his name stays secret. And honestly, I love this trope. The little immature child in me laughs every time they give him this derogatory, awful nickname. Yeah, I might have giggled a few times. Yeah. Hey, I watch cartoons for children. I never claimed to be mature. And then, of course, we have the villains. They're mostly forgettable. But I do have to give props to the imposters and Professor's fated enemy, Doctor, who I appreciate in more ways than one. I just feel a connection to her. I like her. She's a good girl. That came out weird. Don't take me on that word. Let's change the subject. Hey, let's talk about the other characters, because there's such a huge cast in this show. And honestly, it would take me forever to name them, and there'd be way too many spoilers. I'm just gonna mention a few more. First up is sweet old Granny. She opens up every episode with her cute little fluffy bunnies and her cute little fluffy bunny song. Fluffy, fluffy bunnies. And then there's Ray. I love Ray. I could frame Ray's face and just stick it up everywhere because I just love Ray that much. He's basically the glue for the organization. He's the straight man in all this chaos, and quite honestly, the show needed a straight man. They needed so many straight mans. Thank God for straight mans. And of course, my hero, the unprecedented champion of the show, the creme de la crop, the purest soul to ever be put on paper. This is, of course, Sweet old Grandpa. May he live a wonderful life, and angels sing him to his heavenly home when he passes on from this world. He is pure and good, and the only person to avoid us for a whole episode. This man is the savior of their world, and deserves our love and respect. Godspeed, sweet old Grandpa. Godspeed. Honestly, the acting in the show isn't bad. In fact, I actually really enjoyed it. The voice actors really capture the characters' personalities. I really enjoyed Rob Rackshaw as Professor, and Keith Wickham as Change Daly. But all the performances were good. Alan Marriott and Kate Harbour fit Victor and Anita to a T. I don't think any other voices would have worked. At least when they weren't singing. Yeah, I kind of want to take this music and stab it with a stick. Repeatedly. Alrighty, it's not that bad, but the soundtrack just isn't worth digging up. It's a lot of the generic action show music and sound effects, and if I have to hear Victor and Anita sing one more time, I will politely ask them to stop, while silently building a killer violent insect robot and leading a massive uprising of all the show's villains. Did I mention that Dr. Doctor is really relatable? Because she is. Then, of course, there's the animation, which all cartoons kinda hinge on. I really like the animation. It's pretty darn good. Like, take Phineas and Ferb and mash it together with Steven Universe's color palette. Yeah, I know, it kinda sounds weird, but honestly, the show makes it work. And okay, it's no Avatar or Teen Titans, but let me tell ya, there's much worse out there. Much, much worse. It's smooth, well-shaded, and the backgrounds are solid. The action scenes are well-paced and fun to watch, and the characters have a distinct look to them that makes them stand out, even in comparison to other shows. Also, this world is really unique. Honestly, the amount of dark tones in this show are staggering. Aliens, time travel, framing, an agency that stops all wrongdoings, often hurting innocent people and aliens brutally in the process, but are still all smiles at the end of the day as they have upheld their totalitarian government. And of course, social embarrassment. That last one is, like, the worst. So let's talk about network treatment. Why haven't many Americans heard of it? Oh, that's why. In the U.S., The Secret Show aired on Nicktoons Network between the years of 2005 and 2011, a time in cartoon history that I like to call the dead zone of animation. And it's not that the cartoons were bad in this time period. Heck, some were downright great. Some of my favorite shows came out of this period. But the network treatments of these shows were... They were trying to shrug off their teen, young adult demographic in exchange for a younger audience. Fortunately, this didn't work, and animation is now stronger than ever. But Nickelodeon at this time period was quite possibly the worst place to host an American cartoon. That and Nicktoons Network was often partnered with a more expensive cable package. If you can't afford that more expensive cable package, like my family couldn't, well, you're just not going to get the network. So here in the U.S., The Secret Show just kinda happened. There was no great advertising for it. Heck, the only show who got worse treatment is Detention Air. Oh, I will get to you. So, there's about an eighth of people who watched the show and generally liked it, and the rest of us who were just none the wiser. This is kinda how cartoons work over here. I think the worst part is that the show is decent. Heck, it won 2 BAFTAs, so it obviously had something. It's British. It bleeds British. From the thick British accents to the world leader that has a similar feel to the Queen of London, you can just tell that the show is a British gem. But you know, I think that's what makes the show good. It's very British, to the point that it's fun to watch. It's an act of balance. Having intense shows like Young Justice or Voltron is great, but sometimes you just need some wackiness to view. Wackiness, not insultingly stupid. Is it the best thing I've ever seen? No, but the show is charming and has a nice sense of humor. It's a loving homage to the James Bond-style action series and has an interesting premise with some good humor to boot. I give the recommendation for you to stream the show to see if it's your cup of tea before buying it. The Secret Show is available on Amazon to buy in standard definition And if you're in playback region 2 and a physical copy lover like I am, you can purchase volumes 1 through 4 on DVD on Amazon or eBay. I'll have the links down in the description. And of course, if you can get a hold of it on legal means, I highly recommend you do so. The show may be off air, but the support never hurts. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want more of my videos, feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know what show you'd like me to review next. Well, I hope you had a golly good time. Whew. See you later.